Okay, let's unpack this. We talk a lot about AI as this chatty companion, right? You type something in a box, it types something back, it's a conversation. But what if we stopped treating AI like a pen pal and started treating it like, well, like it has hands?
Hands is a very good way to put it. I think the technical term is agency, but hands. That's what we're really talking about today.
Exactly. We are looking at a massive leap in how we interact with these models. We aren't just chatting anymore. We are giving them permission to control our computers, our browsers, and, well, even our homes.
And the source for today's deep dive is perfect for this. It's a repository on GitHub called Awesome Moltbot Skills.
It really is something. It's hosted by Vault Agent, and it's basically a massive directory, over 700 of these extensions.
Extensions, skills, tools, they're community-built add-ons for a local AI assistant.
Right, and before we really get into it, we have to clear up some naming confusion, because you see it right away in the source. You might see references to something called Clawdbot,
Yes, that was the original name. It's been officially rebranded
to Moltbot.
to Moltbot. So if you hear the old name, just know Claudebot is Moltbot. Same tool, new skin.
Moltbot sounds a bit more, I don't know, evolutionary, like it's shedding its old shell. But let's define what this thing actually is, because it's not running in the cloud like ChatGPT, is it?
No, and that is the critical distinction. Moltbot is a locally running AI assistant. It operates directly on your machine,
So it can see my files, my terminal.
your whole local environment. And these skills we're looking at today, they're the bridges. They are what allow this local brain to actually touch and manipulate the outside world.
And the sheer variety here is what blew my mind. We are not just talking about little coding helpers. I mean, we have skills in this list for everything from managing a huge server infrastructure to cooking a steak.
Filing UK trucking compliance reports.
We are definitely going to get to the trucking thing. That is maybe my favorite part. But the mission today is to look at this whole ecosystem. Over 700 of these skills. It's like walking into a hardware store where half the tools are for building rockets and the other half are for, I don't know, organizing your sock drawer.
Which is exactly what a healthy ecosystem should look like. It reflects the real needs of its users. But I think to understand why this is such a big deal, we have to start where the users started. We have to start with the developers.
Right, this is on GitHub, after all, so the developer's playground is where the roots are.
Precisely. And if you look at the developer workflows section in the source, you see this shift in philosophy. Usually, you use AI to write code. You say, write me a Python function. But these skills, they're about managing the entire workflow around the code.
I noticed that straight away. There's a skill called git load. And my first thought was, okay, I already have Git on my computer. I've been using git clone for a decade. Why do I need a special AI version of a command I already know?
That is the perfect question. See, if you tell a standard large language model to clone this repo and fix a bug, it tries to ingest the entire repository, every commit, every branch, every README file from 2012.
Which is just a ton of text.
It floods the AI's context window. It's like trying to drink from a fire hose. The model gets completely overwhelmed by the sheer volume of data, of tokens. It loses track of what it's even supposed to be doing.
Ah, so it's an attention span issue? Or is it a token economy issue?
It's both. Git load is surgical. It fetches only the tree structure or the specific files needed for that one task.
Got it.
It keeps the context clean so the AI can actually reason about the code instead of just drowning in it.
That makes a lot of sense. It's feeding the AI bite-sized pieces it can actually handle. But what about something like GitHub Pre? I saw that one listed. It lets the AI fetch and merge pull requests locally. Is that just for lazy developers?
I'd say it's for efficient developers. It's about solving context switching, which is the biggest killer of productivity for anyone who codes. Think about your workflow. To review a pull request, you have to stop what you're doing, tab over to the browser, wait for GitHub to load, read the changes, maybe tab back to your terminal to run a test.
And by the time you're back in your code editor, you've completely forgotten what variable you were in the middle of naming.
Exactly. GitHub DAER lets the AI fetch the changes, run the tests, and merge it, all without you ever leaving your editor. It treats the GitHub API as just another part of your local environment.
So the AI becomes the interface. It removes the friction of jumping between all those different apps.
Precisely. And it goes even deeper. There's a skill called Agent Lens.
Agent Lens? That sounds like spy gear.
It kind of acts like it. It lets the AI navigate and understand a code base hierarchically. So it's not just reading a file, it's building a mental map of the entire project structure.
Wow.
And then you pair that with something like front-end design, which helps create production-grade interfaces. You're giving the AI the ability to see the architecture, not just the individual breaks.
And it's not just on my laptop either. I saw integrations for Coolify, DigitalOcean, and Hetzner.
Yeah, infrastructure management. Coolify is a self-hosted platform as a service. With that skill, Moltbot can manage deployments, databases, you name it. It can spin up a server on Hetzner using the hcloud CLI.
So in theory, I could say, Moltbot, spin up a new server on Hetzner, deploy my latest app using Coolify, and then merge the PR on GitHub, and it would just do it.
That is the promise of these agentic workflows. And there's a really important detail in the source that explains why this all works so well. It mentions that these skills follow the agent skill convention developed by Anthropic.
What does that mean exactly?
It means there are standards. These aren't just random scripts people hack together. There's an open standard for how an AI tool should be defined, how it should behave.
So they're like standardized building blocks.
Exactly. It turns the whole ecosystem into a giant box of Lego bricks that you know are all going to fit together perfectly.
That is a huge deal for compatibility. Okay, but
Yeah.
developers live in the terminal. The rest of us, and let's be honest, developers too, we live in the browser. And that seems to be the next big frontier here.
It is. And moving from code to the web is a massive jump in complexity. I mean, the internet is messy.
But the tools listed here seem ready for it. I was looking at browser use and agent browser.
Browser use is interesting because it's a cloud-based automation tool.
Yeah.
But agent browser, that's a headless browser CLI.
No, headless is a term that gets thrown around a lot. It always sounds a little bit spooky to me.
It does sound a bit macabre, doesn't it? But here's why it's so important for AI. The internet is built for human eyes. You have colors, layouts, animations, annoying pop-ups. All of that is just visual noise to an AI.
Right. It doesn't need to see the fancy CSS animation. It just needs the button.
Precisely. Agent Browser strips away that entire graphical interface. So instead of looking at pixels on a screen, the AI looks directly at the accessibility tree.
The accessibility tree. You mean the same tags that are used for screen readers for the visually impaired?
The very same. It turns a chaotic web page into a structured map of text, buttons, and input fields. It's way faster because the AI isn't trying to read a screenshot. It's reading the underlying blueprint of the page.
So it's converting the web into clean, structured data the AI can understand?
Yes.
And that must explain Verify on browser. The source says it gives the AI access to Chrome DevTools protocols. So it's basically giving the AI X-ray vision into the website.
It is. So if a button isn't working, the AI doesn't just click it over and over again like a frustrated human.
Which I have definitely done.
We all have. The AI instead can look at the network request, see the 404 error code, and understand why it failed. It could debug the web as it navigates it.
That is wildly powerful, but this isn't just about clicking buttons, it's about research. The research capabilities listed were pretty intense. We're not just talking about Googling things.
No, not at all. We're talking about deep research, which uses the Gemini Deep Research Agent for complex multi-step tasks. But what I found really significant were the search tools designed specifically for AI, like Exa and Tavily.
Right, I've heard of these. These are search engines that don't care about showing you ads. They just care about giving an AI clean, structured data.
Exactly. They're neural web searches. And for the academic crowd, there's ArcSwatchers.
For tracking that endless fire hose of academic papers.
It turns the AI into a research assistant that doesn't just hallucinate an answer. It goes out, it reads the documentation, it reads the paper, it checks the source, and it brings back verified info. It grounds the AI in reality.
Which is so crucial because we all know how confident these models can be when they are completely wrong. But okay, let's shift gears. Because while I love the idea of an AI researching physics papers for me, I'm much more likely to need it to help organize my chaotic life.
The life admin section. This is where the learner profile really shines. It's not just about code, it's about lifestyle design.
And there's a skill called Morning Manifesto. It sounds like something a productivity guru would sell you for $500, but here it is as a free skill.
It's a whole workflow. It prompts you for a daily reflection, and then it syncs your tasks to Obsidian, the note-taking app, and to Apple Reminders. It's automating the habit of just being organized.
Speaking of habits, did you see the Quit series? Quit overspending, quit caffeine, quit porn, quit smoking.
Yeah, it's basically using the AI as an accountability partner, tracking your streaks, your milestones. But the section that really made me laugh and then immediately nod in solidarity was the finance section.
Oh, absolutely. I want to jump right to the finance section because this is where the whole agent concept really hit home for me. We think of AI doing these grand things like writing poems or code, but here We have a skill named, well, you should probably say it.
Just fucking cancel.
It's so direct, isn't it?
It is.
But when you look at what it does, it solves a problem that drives me insane.
The vampire subscription.
Yes.
Okay.
The gym membership you can't cancel online, or that streaming service that hides the unsubscribe button 3 menus deep.
And companies design those interfaces on purpose. It's called dark pattern design. They add friction to stop you from leaving. This skill is using AI to fight fire with fire.
But how does it actually work? Is it just like sending an angry email for you?
It's smarter than that. It scans your bank transaction CSV files to find recurring charges.
Okay.
It categorizes them, identifies the subscriptions, and then can either help draft the cancellation request or even navigate the cancellation website for you. It removes the emotional friction of dealing with that bureaucracy.
It's outsourcing the anxiety of confrontation.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
And then you have Refund Radar, which does something similar for refund requests, and Card Optimizer to help you maximize credit card rewards.
See, this is the aha moment for me. We think of AI as this creative thing, but this is scan my bank statement and save me money. That is real, tangible value.
It is. It just cuts through the noise. But if you think that's specific, we haven't even scratched the surface of the really niche stuff yet.
This is where we get into the niche, the weird, and the hyper-specific. The source lists over 700 skills, and let me tell you, I scrolled past the finance stuff, and suddenly I am looking at tachograph infringement, triage root cause UK.
And transport investigation ACUS aligned pack.
And DVSATC audit readiness operator license UK.
I mean, who is this even for? It feels so incredibly specific compared to write me some code.
This is my favorite part of the entire ecosystem because it proves the long tail theory of AI. Think about it. Microsoft or Google is never going to build a dedicated AI button for UK trucking compliance triaging. The market is just too small.
It's not venture capital scalable. They want 1 billion users, not 1,000.
Exactly. But for the person managing a fleet of lorries in Manchester, this is probably the biggest headache in their professional life. So they built a skill for it.
And because of the Moltbot architecture, they can just upload it. And now every other fleet manager in the UK has access to this tool.
It's the democratization of software. You don't need a whole dev team anymore. If you're a domain expert, whether you know UK trucking law or how to properly sous vide a steak, you can codify that knowledge into a tool.
Speaking of steak, Anova oven.
Yes.
Huh?
Connects to your Wi-Fi-enabled sous vide machine.
See, that's where it gets wild. We've gone from merge my GitHub PR to medium rare, please, in the same command line interface.
Theoretically, yes, as long as you remember to put the steak in the bag first.
Details. But there's also Bamboo Cly for managing 3D printers.
And controls for Tesla and Volvo vehicles. Locking, unlocking, checking the climate.
Dyson air purifiers and Govee lights.
It's turning the AI into a universal remote for your life. It's not just digital anymore, it's actually affecting your physical environment. It's checking your 3D print, preheating your oven, and unlocking your car.
It feels like we are slowly building JARVIS from Iron Man, one GitHub commit at a time.
Slowly but surely. And a big part of that JARVIS dream is managing all the knowledge and media we consume.
Right. Which brings us to the final category, personal knowledge and media.
And I have to say, the media management skills are robust.
They are. You have the full suite. Sonar, Radar, Prowler.
For those who might not know, these are tools that are often used for, let's call it managing your personal media library.
Source delicately mentions managing Linux ISOs, which is the classic wink-wink code for torrenting, using skills like BitTorrent and Putio.
Right. Linux ISOs. We all have very large collections of Linux distributions, I'm sure, but it also controls legitimate streaming. I saw Spotify and Apple Music skills.
So you can control playback directly. Moltbot, play some jazz. But more importantly, it helps you remember what you've consumed. The second brain skills.
This is huge for me. Obsidian, Notion, Bookstack.
These skills let the AI actually read from and write to your personal knowledge base.
And Granola.
That's for accessing meeting notes.
And No.
Yeah.
GNO.
GNOME is a skill to search all your local documents and files. This is the Memex concept, really. The AI isn't just a worker. It becomes your personal librarian. It knows what you've read, what you've written, and where you filed it away.
It connects the dots for you. So if we just step back and look at this whole picture, we started with Moltbot as this, coding helper on GitHub.
Right.
But now we are looking at something that can cook your dinner with Anova, cancel your Netflix with this fucking cancel, file your UK trucking compliance reports, and then play you a movie on Plex.
It has evolved from a simple coding assistant to a life operator, and the barrier to entry is surprisingly low.
Yeah, how do people actually get these things?
It's all managed through MoltHub, which is the public skills registry. If you have Moltbot installed, it's usually just a single command in your terminal, npx molthub at latest install, and then the skill name. It's designed to be plug and play.
It's just incredible how fast this ecosystem is growing. Over 700 skills.
It is. But if we connect this to the bigger picture, this all raises an incredibly important question for the future. I mean, we started this dive looking at a GitHub repo for coders, and we ended up with an AI that manages our money, cooks our food, and handles legal compliance.
It really redefines what an operating system is. It's no longer just operating the computer, it's operating your life.
But there's a risk there, a real dependency risk.
What do you mean by that?
It's what some people call the competency crisis. If you have a bot that handles your banking and your scheduling and your email, eventually you start to forget how to do those things yourself.
Oh, I see. You stop being the operator of your life and you become the CEO.
Exactly. And CEOs are often clueless about what's actually happening on the factory floor. You delegate all the execution to Moltbot. You're just setting the high-level policy.
And if the API breaks, or the model hallucinates and does the wrong thing.
Do you still know how to log in and pay your mortgage manually? Do you remember the passwords? Do you actually understand the trucking compliance law if the bot isn't there to triage it for you?
That is a slightly terrifying thought to leave us on. I'm going to go check if I still know my bank password.
Trust, but verify, especially with your credit card.
Exactly. Thanks for listening to this deep dive into the Moltbot ecosystem. We'll catch you on the next one.